What's up, guys? This just came in the mail. This is the UB Collectibles version of the Aguilar Hidden Blade from the new Assassin's Creed movie. And lots to say about it. It's pretty cool. Nice illustrations of the blade on the back and pictures about how it works. But I'm here to talk about the box. We are here to talk about the Hidden Blade, which is awesome. Not my favorite, though. Like, for instance, the detail on this is not nearly as good as the McFarlane Hidden Blade. It's still nice. It's just, it's not as intricate. The colors are a little bright. But the other cool thing that it has is this little. It doesn't do anything. I just think it's a nice little addition aesthetically to have this be able to move. But the main problem that I noticed, and I already fixed it, but I will show you guys how to do it. This little lock that they added, it used to be, it's spring-loaded so that it's always down, so that every time this came back, you would have to manually prime it before you hit the trigger, and that is nonsense. They really should have gone with just have this be a locking mechanism, have it slide back and forth. But never fear, I have figured out a way past it. It's actually really simple. This blade, the inside mechanism is one of the simplest I've seen. There isn't even really a rail for the blade to go. It's just it's the slightest little indent for the blade to travel on with the spring. But yeah, it's really easy to do. All you need is a screwdriver and maybe a pair of pliers to pull off the spring. But I will show you guys how to do that. Alright, I have gone ahead and removed all of the screws. As always, make sure your blade is extended while you're taking the screws out, otherwise it's going to fly out on you. Now when you take it apart, the bottom is pretty simple. There's these two little pegs that act as kind of pivot points for both levers. So you're going to take both your levers. This is going to be held in by a spring, just like this. The spring is going to go into this little rectangular notch. You're just going to wedge this off, rip the spring off the little nub that's right here, and then you'll just be left with this little plastic piece. The spring is really, surprisingly, it doesn't come out very easily, but it's because the blade itself, the shoulders of the blade, let me zoom in for you so you can see, the little corners, they get caught on the side of this, and it's back far enough so that you don't have to worry about stretching the spring out when you're trying to put it back in. So that rests there nicely, and you can just put the top right back over it and you won't have to worry about it. So when you're putting this back together, make sure this is in its little peg on correctly. And you have that here. Now this is irritating if you mess this up, because first of all, it goes on this little peg. I mean, it's kind of cool the way they designed this, but this little bit travels along this track when it's opened so that it stays as one thing and it doesn't fall out. So make sure that this little square is completely down when you're putting it on and up against it, against that little 90-degree angle. So then you can take this, you can just take this off as a matter of fact. It's same thing with the blade on every other Hidden Blade model. The tooth points down toward the bottom. Feed that through. Let that rest right there. When you're pushing down, you shouldn't be able to pull it this way. It should only be going that way. When you leave it, all you do, make sure this is in place. Flip this over. The two long pegs that are holding in the two levers, line those up. Give it a firm push. Before you put your screws back in, make sure your spring was threaded correctly. Mine was. I'm just squeezing. There we go. And now, it should work fine. But while you're doing this, make sure you keep pressure held down so it doesn't fly open on you. And what I like to do when I'm putting the screws back in, just helps it from coming apart. I hold right about here so that the stays closed still. And I kind of tighten it like it's a drum head You put one down in this corner and one up in this corner, and then you kind of alternate all around it. So it's all kind of even pressure, I guess. Do one right here. But yeah, overall, this hidden blade model, not bad. Not great, but not terrible. The design is okay. It's really simple, which is nice, but also really simple aesthetics-wise too, which is kind of disappointing. The paint job is, it's all right. It's nothing special. The McFarlane Toys Hidden Blade it's a lot better, but I'm not going to complain about something that little. It's just a paint job. I mean, you can always repaint it yourself if you have the know-how and the painting skills, but it's not a big deal. It's up to you, really. The only real difference between these two hidden blades is, of course, the locking feature, which is a big pain. But now it's manual and it stays on or it stays off. So yeah, that's cool. The lever is a nice touch. I really like that they made this move. Doesn't move on the McFarlane Toys one at all. It's just a static thing that sits there. The locking mechanism on this one is far better. This one is, it's okay. The blade on the McFarlane Toys one is much longer by at least a 1/4 inch. This one's wider. It's a little cartoonish looking compared to the other one. And the tip of the blade is super soft compared to the rest of the blade, and it'll kind of get warped if you're not careful with it. Like, even the difference between the little eagle head motifs on the side, they're okay. This one is a lot better though. But the other real difference is the gauntlets that come with it. The McFarlane Toys one is pretty simple. The details are great, but it doesn't cover the top part of your arm. This one does, and the details are fantastic. Covers the entire upper and bottom part. It's a full vambrace. It covers the entire arm. This, it even has the little thumb hole that he had in the movie, which is awesome. The Velcro is super strong, which is really good. You don't have to worry about it coming undone on you. And even if it does, the little elastic straps they add it's not coming undone. Ever, at all, unless you take it off. You're not going to have this thing accidentally falling off your arm. But I took the McFarlane Hidden Blade, removed it from the vambrace, and removed the UV Workshop one, and I put the Hidden Blade onto this vambrace and took the best of both worlds and put them together. I can go into depth on that in another video. It's really simple. You just got to line up the screw holes and everything. Because the screw holes are separate. There's less of them than this one, but it's just drilling a simple hole in each spot where you need the screws. But yeah, this vambrace is great. The other nifty thing they added, I don't think it was supposed to be like this, but the packing that they used, or the packing plastic, it can also act as a little stand. Let me get a better shot. If you want to put this on a shelf or something, you can have it on display with this little stand, which is pretty cool. Even looks even better with the blade extended, which is nice. But yeah, this is a very cool product. I would definitely recommend it. Either one, really. They both have their ups and downs. They're both really cool. But I honestly, if I had to choose, I would choose the McFarlane Hidden Blade because, I mean, honestly, the Hidden Blade is the most important part. The vambrace is kind of like a secondary plus. But if you can get your hands on both, I highly recommend you do, and swap out the blades, because this is just the best setup of this particular Hidden Blade that I can possibly think of. So yeah, this is done. You know I'm going to make a video on how to make this wrist activated. It's really pretty simple. You just tie off a knot to the inside on the same thing. It's really pretty much the same deal for everything. They're all very, very similar in their way they work with the mechanism, so it's pretty easy to figure out. Yeah, that's about it for this. So this is all set. And in the next video, I'm going to speak of this, which is by far my least favorite hidden blade in this entire UB Workshop product line. It broke the first day I used it. The hidden blade just popped out. It snapped off the spring, which is fun. That's real nice. The blade got super warped for no reason at all. I don't know why it's like that. It's super stiff, but it came warped as hell, which is not good. And the blade's super tiny when it's fully extended. It's got this boxy, super boxy secondary tier, which I do not like at all. But yeah, it's not even screwed together, which is also a nice plus. The only good thing about this hidden blade is the van brace. The van brace is fantastic. I'll show you guys how to make it a little bit less garbagey, if that's the correct word to use for this. I mean, it's okay. I mean, it looks great when it's together and not broken. But yeah, I'll go further into depth on this in another video. So, hope you guys like this. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Helps me out a lot. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Keep watching. I got lots of stuff coming. So yeah, have a nice day.